Hello and welcome to episode 3 of my trip to Disney. My sister just dropped me off over here at the Polyport company. That's this awesome company here in Charlotte area that provides free public charging. So definitely want to give them a plug. Shout out to the letting me charge here because I didn't really have a charging solution since she lives in a condo while her house is being built. And brought in the car last night around 10%, charged up to 100% now. Have the heat running to precondition the cabin a little bit, because it is a little bit chilly out here. What's great about this episode is, if you watched episode 1, it was in the 20s the whole way from Chicago to Louisville. And then from Louisville to Charlotte, it was in about the 30s to 40s most of the drive. Then on my episode 2, I went to Disney, and the temperature there was in the 70s and 80s that whole drive. So different efficiency numbers there. And now we're in the 50s. So, and on this particularly, I'm heading today from, it's about 11:30 right now, heading from Charlotte, actually southwestern Charlotte, to Knoxville, Tennessee tonight, and then I will make my way home from there. And so this will have some mountain driving in there. Granted, it's just the Smokies, it's not the Rockies, but still we'll have some mountain efficiency numbers to talk about. So without further ado, it's about 140 miles to Asheville, North Carolina. That's my first charging stop. I'll take you in the car and punch in my destination and show how it calculates the charging stops. Plane going overhead, so you're probably not hearing me too well. Let's go ahead and unplug the car and hit the road. All right, so I will open up Google Maps and type in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's see, let's get that going. Here we go. I'll get the exact address as I get a little closer. But for now, I punch it in. As I mentioned, car at 100%, 250 EPA range rated miles. So it shows that we have 233 miles to do today. Go ahead and add the charging stop. See how it said we were going to get there with negative 19%. So I'm going to go ahead and punch in Asheville, and we'll charge there so we can arrive with 10% in Knoxville. I might actually do a second charge once I arrive in Knoxville, just to get a little extra juice in case I need to explore around town or whatever. But yep, 135 miles to Asheville. Let's hit the road. One thing I also wanted to really quickly note is, you see here all these grayed out lines to the left on my what would be my regen. Because I'm at 100%, there is no regen. So driving in one pedal mode, it's actually using the friction brakes to slow me down since I don't have any regen being at 100. That, as I use some of my power, I'll gain more regen back as I use a little bit more and have a little bit more room in the battery. I arrived with 46% here in Asheville, North Carolina. It's 116 miles to my next, my destination, which is Knoxville, Tennessee. And so it wants me to charge to about 64%. So it should be about 10 to 15 minutes to get that juice. Charging ripped right up to 127, which is great considering we're at 47%. So I'm gonna go run into the restroom, see where we're at when we get back, and see if I can make it. All right, in 11 minutes, I was able to gain 15 kilowatt hours. So I have plenty to get to my next stop. I'm actually gonna go ahead and stop in Kodak, Tennessee. That's a little town right before Knoxville, and there's Electrify America at a Harley Davidson dealer there, so I kind of wanted to check it out and get some juice there, and that way I have plenty in case I have trouble level 2 charging overnight, that I'll be able to start my day tomorrow with a decent amount of energy. So 97 miles down the road to Kodak, Tennessee. I just arrived in Kodak, Tennessee with 28%, and this might be the best charging stop in the world. If you disagree or agree, please comment down below. We have a Fairfield Inn by Marriott right here. We got a Bass Pro Shops down there, a Chop House, a Harley Davidson dealer, and a moonshine distillery right on the other side of this giant sign. It doesn't get better than that. Charging speed just ripped right up to 133. Not too concerned. I'm gonna go hit the bathroom. I already have enough to make it to, I only need another 10% to get to Knoxville. I just wanted to get a little extra juice in the car now, because that way if I run into issues level 2 charging it overnight, just since there's not really a charger at the hotel per se, it's kind of in the city public parking garages, so no guarantee that that'll work out smoothly. I wouldn't want to have to backtrack all the way here to get juice for tomorrow morning. I'm not sure even which route I'm taking tomorrow, whether I'm just going to go up north through Lexington or west to Nashville and then up north. So I'm going to get a little bit of juice here till, I don't know, like 50% or so, and then I'll head over to Knoxville. Wasted way too much time walking around in Harley and the distillery, so gonna go ahead and unplug here. It's only 20 miles to my destination for the night, so I have more than plenty. I'm just happy to get some juice and hit the road. Good morning from Knoxville, Tennessee. It's pretty nice. It's already like 60 degrees. I'm not looking forward to getting back to the snow that fell at home overnight. So I'm walking to the car. It's about a block away. We'll hop in and see what today's drive is looking like. I was able to level 2 charge here in the garage that I parked at, but a block away from my hotel, so that worked out great. So now I'm just going to punch in directions home and see what the car says. I'm not sure if I should go through Cincinnati or through Louisville. So let's see what the two options look like. I want to go ahead and put in charging stops. Not sure why there's some glare here. Sorry about that. All right, so it is saying that I should go through Louisville. Interesting. About 106 miles to my first... No, it's trying to have me go to a charge point. I'm going to have to look a bit more into this and see if this actually makes sense versus just going north to Lexington, Kentucky, and through Cincinnati. So once I pulled the charging stops out, it does want me to go through Lexington, which I thought was the right route. It says the end of my battery range is just past Lexington, which is what I expected. So I should be able to, with 100% from here, make it to Lexington, go ahead and charge there, and then be on to my next stop. There we go. Since the car likes to try to plan on arriving with 10%, and I think I'll get great efficiency today because the weather's just like absolutely perfect outside, I was able to force it to navigate to the Electrify America in Lexington, Kentucky. It is, let's see how far. It says we should arrive with 5%. It's 185 miles, so a little bit of a long drive ahead of us. Probably going to stop and get something to eat. I don't know if I'll get something here in Knoxville or something in the middle, but that'll be the plan. Off to Lexington. Welcome to Georgetown, Kentucky, just north of Lexington. Charging right now, just plugged in, only pulling 116 kilowatt, which I saw some other people kind of say they had a similar experience here. So battery's definitely warm because temperatures are in the mid 50s. I've just drove, from 100% all the way down to 16% when I arrived. When I was looking through PlugShare, it looked like Charger 1 was only operating at about 50 kilowatt, and Charger 2 I didn't really see too many reviews, but people said Chargers 3 and 4 were working great. So I might go ahead and unplug Charger 3 since it's, like I said, running a little bit sluggish, and see if I can get a Charger 4 to give a little bit more juice. Just waiting for Charger 4 to ramp up. This charging location, excellent that it's right off of the interstate. However, it's like 9 miles north of Lexington. So if you're doing what I'm doing, which is most likely going through Cincinnati, this is a great charging location. But if you're going east and west, you have to detour 9 miles north essentially to hit this charger. If you're, say, heading to Louisville from, I don't know what would be east of here, but nonetheless, at least the chargers are working and nice and empty, so I'm able to bounce around between different chargers here. And look at that. I'm easily going to save time because I plugged in here to charge number 4, and it's ramping up and getting more charge. It went up to 119 and then slowed down to 110 on Charger 4, and actually as I dug a little bit into PlugShare, people were having that same experience. Here it's at 140 almost, and looks like it might climb up to maybe 150. Either way, if it sticks at 140, I'm pretty happy with that. Get a pretty fast charge here. I'm gonna run to the restroom, and when I come back, I will take a peek at where our next charger is in Cincinnati. Got a little carried away cleaning out emails, going through and playing on my phone. Already up to 68%. I have plenty. I'm gonna arrive with over 30% in Cincinnati. No big deal, as I'll just charge a little, take a little bit shorter time to charge there. So I'm gonna hit the road. Let's see how far it is to get there. 75 miles to the charger, and it looks like it's in downtown Cincinnati. It's a little bit probably like 5 miles out of the way to get to, but kind of just is what it is. I just wanted to go the Cincinnati route home just to change it up and have different scenery. So, yep, let's hit the road and see you in Cincinnati. Welcome to Cincinnati. A little bit different scenery here. I'm at a Target and a Meijer, so no Walmart at this stop. Arrived with 39%, so like I said, severely overcharged at the last charger, but that's okay. Looks like I need to charge to about 65% before I can leave here. What's awesome is at 39%, I'm already pulling 150 kilowatts. So outstanding charging session already. I can tell this is going to be great, and I'll be done here in no time. Something else I want to show that's pretty cool is here's the Meijer, here's the Electrify America stations, and then there's actually a bunch of Tesla chargers over here as well. It's nice to see them all in the same spot. Ran in, hit the restroom, played on my phone a little bit, already overcharged again, but it's great because I'll be in Indianapolis with some extra buffer since the temperature's cooling off. Like to play it safe on these stretches when there really is no bailout option. And yep, up to 73% was a 21-minute charge. So off to the next destination. As soon as I get in the car, let's go see what the distance is to Indianapolis. All right, 109 miles. We'll be there with 16%. Let's hit the road. Another great charging stop done. I'm here in Fishers, Indiana. I plugged in with 12%. You might have seen in the rolling film, I went through Steak and Shake to get a greasy burger. You know, terrible food, but needed to get some substance. And yet another charging stop that is just ripped by. I just finished my food, and then a woman came over and was asking me questions about her Tesla. She was, you know, just got it, and unfortunately was running into some issues finding out how to charge it. You know, so kind of on Tesla for not properly teaching her all of that. But in 15 minutes, we've already gained 32 kilowatt hours. Insane. And we're going to gain more. We already have enough to go, but I have to go to the bathroom. And so I'm going to run into Meijer over here, do that, and then I'll check in, see what we have, and then we'll hit the road to Lafayette, Indiana. So just to you know, elaborate a little bit more, it's I never thought the difference in charging with the Polestar compared to the ID4 would impact me so much on my trips. With the ID4, most times it's like I could stop if I had to eat something or run to a restroom, any of that stuff. I'd come back and I'd pretty much be done. And with the Polestar, it's been to the point where like I'm having to stop to go to the bathroom and do that stuff anyway, you know, or get a bottle of water, any of that sort of stuff. And the car is done before I can even accomplish those things. There's a select few charges that have been a little bit longer, but that's usually only because I'm trying to skip the charger in the middle. And I've elaborated in my other videos what charger hopping is. Basically, the car only takes like 10-15 minutes to get from 10 to like 40%, but it takes like 20 minutes to get from 40% to like 70%. So that down low charging is so fast, you want to try to utilize the lower end of the pack and do more charging stops because it will save you a lot of time on your trip, most likely. One of the differences was in the last video, both directions, we skipped Brunswick because Brunswick was like 8 miles out of the way. Unfortunately, this stop was like 3 miles each way out of the way. The stop before this in Cincinnati was also like 5 or 6 miles out of the way each way. Those kind of hurt, but those stops, where the distance that it was between them, there was no way to get from Lexington, Kentucky to Indianapolis. Like that was not going to happen. And there's no way to get from Cincinnati to Lafayette. Like we needed to hit all 3 of these stops it is what it is. So, you know, it'd be nice if they were a little closer to the highway, but it's no situation is always perfect. The nice thing is the majority of the chargers I run into are right off the highway, easy on, easy off. Even this one, you know, even though it's like 3 miles out of the way, it's great that there's a Smoothie King across the street, a Qdoba, an Applebee's, a Panda Express. I'm here at a Meijer, so all the groceries you could want. Steak and Shake was down there. A Mexican restaurant called Kitchen Margaritas right next to that. So just whenever there's and a Wendy's too. So whenever there's a variety of food like this, it makes it a stop worth detouring anyway, because if you're on a road trip, most likely you're going to be looking when you want to eat, you know, a certain type of food. You're not, most likely the gas station that's right off the highway isn't going to have the food you want to eat anyway. And a lot of my stops are at Walmarts, so they don't really have anything I want to eat. So when it is one of these stops that's a couple miles more off the road, but it's at a better location like this with more things to choose from, that's worth it to me. I'm rambling on. We're already up to 63%. I got to unplug. I've been here for 22 minutes already. Added 44 kilowatt hours. Here, take a look. Up to 64%. And yeah, gonna go unplug and we'll hop in the car right now. An Ionix showing up right now. Perfect timing. I'm gonna get out of here and let's see how far it is to Lafayette. The inside of my car officially smells like bad food. Let's go ahead and continue the trip. There we go. 63 miles, be there with 33%. Probably end up being closer to 35 or 36%. But we'll hit the road, and that might be the last charging stop of the trip. Welcome back to Lafayette, Indiana. This was the first charging stop of episode 1 of the trip, and potentially the last charging stop here. It's always a complicated one for me because according to the car, I need 88% to make it home from here. So that kind of sucks to have to wait and charge that much. I'll show you what we arrived with. So I don't remember 100% off the top of my head. There we go. Arrived with 32%. Speeds ripped up to 140 and now just are hovering around 138. That's excellent. I'm happy with that. But I just don't know that I want to wait to get to 88%. Also, by the way, check out this extended range, I believe, Lariat right here. Love that. Love the F-150 Lightning. Although, is he? Yeah, he's up to 80% right now. Always throws me off that they have this like second charge door over here that's not really a charge door, but it makes the truck symmetrical. But then check out this awesome machine right here. Some Army vehicle here. It looks like the truck is broke down, unfortunately, but crazy big, crazy Army vehicle here being transported as well. Walmart, of course. And then not much else to do. This is always a rough charging stop. The reason it's not one of my favorite is because there's really, you know, this is why I ate at the last charging stop. There's nowhere to really eat around here without like a very long walk. And unfortunately, usually when I'm starting my trips, I always start them usually after I leave my office. So I'm always arriving here around dinner time. So I'm usually going to be hungry when I'm here. So yeah, just kind of blah. So what I want to do now is go in the car and try to chart some options out. Because like I said, I can charge to 80% and arrive home with basically 10%, and then do my charging at home. Or I want to see if there's any chargers on the south side of Chicago that might work. I know when we're coming back from the west, I always often go to Joliet. That works out usually pretty well to not have to overcharge at Geneseo and be able to go to Joliet and, kind of charger hop a little bit. And I kind of want to see if there's something like that here. I know there's a charger in Tinley Park, but I know that one is like way out of the way. And because it's cold in winter, I'm definitely using way more power right now. So let's check it out. Okay, so I think this is my plan. 128 miles to the Electrify America in Hodgkins, Illinois. It's kind of on the southwest side of Chicago. I'm gonna go ahead and press start. It says we'll get there with negative 17%, which obviously just means we need to charge another 20% or so here. Getting great charging speeds, as I mentioned earlier, so that's working great as well. And I think that'll be better because I don't mind doing one more charging stop, and the benefit of that is I'll be able to overcharge a little bit so I have a bit to run around town when I get home. I don't have to, when I get home, dig out the charging cord, yada yada, get everything plugged back in. I can leave the car outside, unpack it in the morning, and so I think that'll work better. So I'll finish charging here. I'll show you what I'm at when I hit that point, how long it took, and then I will head off to Hodgkins, Illinois. All right, charged up to 71%. Already been here 23 minutes. I have plenty to make it to Hodgkins, Illinois. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug. Car says I'll arrive there with 5%, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a little bit higher than that. I think the reason this last stretch was a little less efficient was because of the constant rain, which I think hopefully should be done. Even if it does rain though, I should still arrive in Hodgkins with around 5%. So let's hit the road. All right, last charging stop of the trip here in Hodgkins, Illinois. First and foremost, if you found this content helpful, if you found these videos helpful, the series helpful, please do like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also, comment down below. I'm very curious. Did you like the road trip that I posted when I bought the car, where it was like an obnoxiously long video of all in one? Or do you prefer this, where I did the series, where it's like, okay, episode 1, I drove to Charlotte. Episode 2 was the special on, so episode 1 had the Tail of the Dragon. Episode 2 was my sister and her husband experiencing their first electric car road trip. And episode 3 was just me driving home casually from Charlotte. Nothing too crazy or exciting, but, certainly was still another great road trip. Let me know which type you like the most, of doing the episodes or doing them all in one massively long video. I'll always, as always, I will continue to put all the data in the video. So, even though this will be my last charging stop, I will continue to throw the B-roll and charging data at the bottom. What else? I don't have enough good things to say about the Polestar. Made it through an excellent trip. I don't know if Electrify America is getting better, or if just the Polestar is a better charging experience than the Volkswagen. When I had the Volkswagen, it was pretty common to, I don't know, maybe 1 out of every 5 or 6 charges would fail for some unknown reason. or worse, I would be out and about and the charge would just fail for who knows what reason. Like I'd be halfway walking myself to a restaurant and I get a text message that your charge has stopped. That doesn't seem to happen with the Polestar, and I love it. You know, it happened once when I was in Oklahoma City on the trip that I bought the car, but since then, outstanding. Like, I plug it in, it charges, it's great. I mean, this charging session kind of sucks. I'm at only pull in 82 kilowatts at 39%. It's been very sluggish, but that's all right. It's the last charge of the trip, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to save any time here. I'm already, I'm only 20, 30 minutes from home, so it is what it is. I'm just getting extra juice so I have enough to run around and I don't have to bother plugging it in tonight. So with that, I don't really know what else to say other than hope you really enjoyed it, and take care until next time.